Gotcha. I'm trying to keep this clean for YouTube, but anyway. All right, so I know I discussed this in episode 2. I think it was the second episode of my podcast, but I'll discuss it on the stream here. Let's talk about some debt real quick. Good old debt. That could be more stressful. Look, debt can be more stressful than a bitter baby mama. Shoot, y'all think I'm joking? I'm so serious, y'all. Debt is so. See, I don't have a baby mama. I don't have no kids, so I can't really say how stressful that is. But from what I've seen, having a baby mama is stressful. A bitter one, not just a. Oh, come on. You had to put that shield up. But anyway, I'm in so much debt right now, it's not even funny. Let me tell y'all a little bit about debt real quick. So if you don't know what debt is, which you should, but I understand I have a young audience. If you basically what debt is when you basically owe money, right? Let me tell y'all how not to get in debt. First of all,
credit cards are not your best friend at all.
Avoid credit cards. Well, I'm not gonna say avoid them because you have to build credit. So the only time I really say use credit cards is when you're trying to build credit, but only use the credit cards. Okay, if you're trying to build credit, right? Because credit is important. But if you're trying to build credit, yes, you know, a credit card is the easiest way to build credit. Stop shooting me, y'all. A credit card is the easiest way to build credit, but it's also the easiest way to get into debt. So with that being said, if you use your credit card, so this is the best way you should use your credit card, right? If you're trying to build credit. Let's say you're trying to get gas, right? Or you are getting gas. You have the money for the gas, but instead of using your money, your debit card or whatever, the money that you have, you use that credit card. You know, let's just say it takes about, crap, I ran out of ammo. Let's just say it takes you about $60 to fill up your car. Although it takes you $60 to fill up your car, you ain't got no car. You got a freaking monster truck. You got a truck or something going on. But right, so you use, instead of like using your debit card, you use your credit card, right? And you put that $60 on the credit card, right? And then what you do is you pay that $60 off in increments. So you pay $30, right? And then when the bill is due, you pay another $30, and that's how your credit builds. The way that you build credit is, you know, you borrow money and then you pay it back. Basically, your credit score is important because that shows how where you are with, like, not just money, but like whether you high risk or low risk as far as, like, you know, borrowing money and all that stuff. It shows the banks basically like, hey, this person is good with like paying back, you know, whatever they owe and this, that, and the other. They make their payments on time and all that kind of stuff. So that's why a credit score is important. And that's, you know, when it comes to your credit score, that's what banks look at, you know, when you're trying to get a loan, such as like a car loan, credit cards, you know, trying to get a mortgage, just loans in general when you're trying to borrow money. So there's good debt and then there's bad debt. I consider all debt bad debt, but we're gonna be realistic here. You need a little bit of debt to build credit, right? But this is where people get in trouble at, and this is kind of like what I'm dealing with right now. This is how people get in trouble, and I need to clear this area. Oh shoot, what hit me? Oh, that is a whole freaking hunter. Where did that hunter came from? Let's get out of here. But this is where people get in trouble at. When people have the mindset of when they have like a credit card or something. First thing that get people in trouble is they think that their credit card or something like that is an extension of their credit when it's not. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, get rid of that mindset as soon as possible, because that's gonna get you in trouble. And I'm about to die. Oh, please get back. Get rid of that mindset of credit cards as an extension of your income, because it's not. What it basically is a quick way to borrow money. That's all a credit card is, because you have to pay that back. You have to pay that back. So that's what get people in trouble, you know. And then the thing is, what people do is they max out their credit cards, get back. They max out their credit cards and then get another one, and can barely make the payments of the other credit cards that they have. And if you're not careful, credit cards, even though they have a limit, the better your credit is, or whatever the circumstance is. I forgot the entire criteria, but basically, the longer you have that credit card, they'll give you extensions. They'll give you a credit extension, or they increase the limit. So instead of your what the heck? So instead of like your limit being like 300, they increase it to 500, they increase it to 1,000, then 2,000, and that's what get people caught up. It's when they see that limit increasing, it's like,
I got more money.
no, you don't. You don't have more money. Please, please don't look at it. Don't look at it as, again, as an extension of your credit or you have more money, because that's not the case. You got to pay it back, and then plus interest. If you don't know what interest is, basically this is how banks make money, right? Because the way that banks operate is, you have a bank to store your money, right? And then what they usually do is they take your money that you have in the bank and they give out loans to people, right? And the way that they make money, first of all, the way they make money is like fees and all that kind of bank fees and all that kind of stuff. And then the second way they make money is interest. So let's just say you borrow like $100, right? And then your interest is 10%. So now, since you borrow $100, you now not only owe the bank $100, but then now you owe them because of that interest. Now you owe them, So now instead of owing just 100, I owe 110 because that's the interest, that 10% interest. So yeah, so it's the interest that also kill people as well, because now not only you owe that 100, but you owe that additional $10. And then like the longer it takes you to pay it back, the more that interest builds. So I want y'all to bear that in mind. And then another thing that sneaks up on people, well, not really sneaks up, but another thing that gets people in trouble when it comes to debt is car loans. Now, I can't speak too much because I have a car note. Right? As much as I love my Dodge Charger 2012 RT with 370 horsepower plus more because it has a cold air intake in it, vroom, vroom, vroom. Why not do the motorcycle thing? Supposed to be a... Anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. As much as I love that car, every time I make a payment each month, I look at it, I'm like, dang, I could be saving so much money if I didn't have a car payment. I should have just bought like a cheap car, $1,000, $2,000. Or matter of fact, I should have kept my Mustang, because even though that was a car loan, it was almost paid off. It was almost paid off. And see, the trap that I fell into is, when I was working at my other job, because I was working there as a temp at first, right? And then when I got there full time, I got a huge raise. I mean, it was a significant raise. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself. This is what run. Cause my Mustang was only 2-door, but I wanted a 4-door car. See, when I first got the Mustang, I had a different mind state. But I was like, I want a 4-door car and I want something with more power. So that's how I ended up getting the Charger. Yeah, I wish I didn't do that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the car, but it's like, I'm dishing out $340 a month. My previous car payment was $240. So yeah. And then the thing is, see, if you pay your car cash, it might be a little bit of a beater, but that car is fully paid. You're not paying a car note every month. You're not dishing out money every month. And then the thing is, a lot of people don't know this, but when you get a car loan, if you finance a car, you have to get full coverage. Because you have to get full coverage, because if anything was to happen to that car, the bank has to get its money, because you no longer can drive that car. So you have to get full coverage. And then plus there's this thing called gap coverage, right? You don't have to get it, but if you're going to get a car loan, a car note, whatever, I recommend this to everybody. Get gap coverage, because what it does is, because here's another thing too, when you get a car note. Let's just say you buy your car, right, and then 5 years from now or 4 years from now, you wreck the car. The insurance is only going to pay you what that car is worth at that time, not how much you paid for it, but what it's worth at that time. And mind you, cars, 90% is a depreciated asset, which means its value go down. It's a depreciated asset. You might have paid $20,000 when you first got that car, but then 4 years from now, it might be only worth $12,000. And when you get into an accident and the car is totaled, they're only going to pay for what it's worth. So what gap coverage does is, whatever your insurance don't pay, gap coverage pays the rest. Henceforth the name gap insurance. So anyway, shut up. Car loans get people in trouble, and the thing is, unlike most products, once you buy it, you can't return it. So it ain't like, okay, so if you get into like a financial situation you're still obligated to pay, you know, your car loan. And if you don't, the bank can take that car, because technically the car isn't yours. The car isn't yours. When you get a car note, when you go to the dealership and all that stuff, notice you don't get the title. Now, if you don't know what the title is basically like a document saying that you own this vehicle. You don't get that when you first finance a car. You get that once you paid it off. And like when you buy a car straight up, you get the title immediately. Like, let's just say you go through a private sale, right? That person, they may not have the title, and you have to go through a whole process to get the title. But 9 times out of 10, they'll have the title. It basically means you own the house, just like the deed of the house, basically saying that you own this house. That's all that is. So you don't own that car. The bank technically still owns that car. So if you don't make that payment, they're gonna repossess your car. They're gonna repo your car. They're gonna take it away from you.
You gotta be awfully fast or whatever the car to get that.
It's not even 30 cents.
So yeah, and then if that's your only car, you're screwed. You're screwed. Yeah, so you're obligated to pay that. So going back to the whole debt thing, if you fall some hard times, let me tell you something. You're paying $300. Okay, I'm paying $340 a month, right? You know how much what that money could be really doing, especially in my current situation right now? Because I took a pay cut when I got my new job. I took a very big pay cut. That $340 could be helping me out right now. Like, really. It could be helping me out. And think about it. People don't... When people get a car note, when people get a car loan, they don't look at the overall cost. You don't see the car is $20,000. What most people see is the payments, how much payments they can afford. Because here's the crazy thing: if that car breaks down, not only you're paying your car note, but then you also have to pay for the repairs and all that stuff. Don't even get me started. But anyway, the less you owe people, the more money you have in your pocket. Because now all you're doing is just paying people back something you bought maybe like 2 years ago. Like, again, my credit, I only have like 2 active credit cards, right? And even then, I feel some type of way about that. Like, one of my credit cards is nearly maxed out. I don't even want to tell y'all how much it is. Interest is kicking my butt, right? Interest is kicking my butt. And that money I could be using, that money that I'm using to pay these people off, these banks off, could be going towards investments, could be going towards in the stock market, retirement funds, could be going towards getting an apartment and all that stuff. This $340 a month that I'm dishing out. And one thing I forgot to mention, like I said, when you finance a car, you have to get full coverage. My insurance is $140 something a month, which isn't bad considering the type of car I have, considering that I'm a male. I've only got 1 ticket and I was 18, I was in high school. So I haven't got a ticket in almost 10 years. But if I didn't have full coverage, my insurance would be much cheaper. My insurance will be much cheaper. I don't have to pay all that money for insurance and all that kind of stuff. Ugh. But I don't know what that was. But anyway, that $340 a month could be going towards getting an apartment, just... And plus my minimum payment for my credit card is like $200. Oh gosh, I cringe when I think about this stuff. Like, and see, the way that I got into debt, because I'm pretty smart with money, but see, right here, this is what got me into debt. My heart. I was trying to help somebody else. And I'm not going to get into too much details on that, but I was trying to help somebody out, and that situation just didn't work out. But I was trying to help somebody out, and I extended myself too far. So, yeah. And that's another thing. If you got the cash, yes, it's cool to help somebody out, but don't use credit cards to help somebody out. Please don't, because you're going to doom yourself. You are going to doom yourself. All I'm saying is this, because then what end up happening is if you get too much debt, think about it. You got a mortgage, you got credit cards that you're paying back, all these loans and all this kind of stuff, plus student loans, and I have mixed feelings about student loans. But luckily, and I'm in school, mind you, luckily I haven't had to take out any loans because I've been getting grants and all that kind of stuff. And I go to community college. So when you do FAFSA, they're more likely to give you money when you're going to community college and all this stuff. They're more willing to give you grants and all that kind of stuff. Better than mine. And for all my people that's going to college or thinking about going to college, do community college. It would take off a great percentage of your tuition. Trust me when I say that. I don't plan on going to university, but trust me when I say this. It would take out you will save a lot of money, because remember, school loans you have to pay them back. Also, if you want more advice as far as like finance go, how to manage your money and all that stuff, Dave Ramsey, that's who I watch or used to watch. Only reason why I can't watch him now, because I feel like if I watch him and then, you know, he talk about, because what he does is he's a financial advisor, but he talks about the advice that he gives you. It's not one of these get rich quick schemes and all this kind of stuff. He gives good advice, and I was following that advice at one point until I got caught up to my situation. But just be smart with your money, because then what happen is you get to a point, okay, you make $30,000, but your car is worth 30. You're getting more than what you can afford. So again, a vehicle, like if you get in a car note, right, you have to realize what a vehicle is for. As much as I like my car and what it does, I have to realize at the end of the day, that vehicle is supposed to get me back and forth to work from point A to point B. I'm not worried about how I look. I'm not supposed to worry about how I'm looking. Point A to point B. That is what a vehicle is for. I don't plan on getting a car note after I pay off my charger. I can't do it. I can't do it. Because it's $340 a month that I'm dishing out. It's especially during the times that I'm going through. Look, I'm very transparent. I ain't gonna lie. Financially, I'm struggling right now. That's why I want to talk to y'all about this, because I understand I have a younger audience, even to my older audience. You know, because they don't teach this stuff in school. They don't teach this stuff in school. They don't about debt and interest and all this stuff. And this music is blaring in my ear. They don't teach this stuff in school. So I want everybody to have that knowledge before you get into the same situation that I am in, which is a whole bunch of debt. I hate that, because all that money that I'm paying every month. Build your credit, but don't take more than you can handle. That's all I'm saying. There's good debt, which the good debt is the debt to build your credit, and then there's the debt when you owe so much money, it's just like right here. You're like, oh gosh. And then the last thing you want to do is file for bankruptcy. If you don't know what bankruptcy is, basically it's the process of, if you owe a lot of money and you can't pay, you can't pay back these lenders and all this stuff. What bankruptcy is, it's an option, a process of basically getting like consolidating your loans, or like forgiving is like erase like your loans, or like you just gotta pay this lump sum. It's a process, and it don't look good on your credit neither. It don't look good on your credit. Yes, it financially gets you right per se, and even then that's a process, because you gotta go to court, you gotta get a lawyer and all that stuff. So now you gotta pay for lawyers and all this kind of stuff. It's just, I don't want to go through that process. I don't want to go through the bankruptcy process, because once you got bankruptcy on your credit report and all that stuff, it takes a while before all that stuff is not cleared, but it's like basically clear. Let's just use that term. Before it's clear. So like that bankruptcy looks bad on your credit report. And it takes a while before they start looking before like lenders start looking beyond that. But like, because if you try to get like a loan or something right after bankruptcy, they're gonna be looking at you like, what? You filed for bankruptcy? That means you couldn't pay your other stuff back. We're not giving you no money. And then like, if you try to get like a house or even just like an apartment or something like that, they'll be like, we're not giving you nothing, because you couldn't even pay pay back your other obligations. So we're not giving you no money back. We're not giving you no money, because why I'm gonna give you money if I know for a fact you can't even pay. If you couldn't even pay those other people back, why I'm gonna give you money? Like I said, your credit score is basically like determines whether you're a high risk or a low risk. So don't want to go through that process of have to go to bankruptcy and all that stuff, because it's a process. I don't know the whole process. I just know it's a very big and annoying process. It's a frustrating process. It can be also an expensive process, because basically, and then it gets to a point like you got bill collectors calling your phone like, if you don't give us this money, we're gonna take you to court and this, that. That's not a good feeling, having people call your phone every day like, hey, you owe us money, give us some money. You don't want that to happen. It's not a good process. So that's basically debt in a nutshell. Avoid debt as much as possible. If you think about getting a vehicle, if you can, save up to $1,000 or $2,000 and just get a beater. Cash is king. The more you borrow, the only loan that I say is acceptable is a mortgage, and that's like for your house. That's for your place. That's for a place to live, to lay your head at. And see, with a house, it appreciates. So I think that's the right word. So that means the value goes up. So let's say you buy the house for $100,000, but then the value goes up, the market goes up, and now it's worth $150,000. You just made a $50,000 profit if you sell your house. See? All I'm saying is, boys and girls, is be careful with your money. You got a credit card, you know, you want to go stir crazy. Please don't go stir crazy, because then you end up in the position that I'm in, which is a lot of debt and struggling. I just want to be transparent with y'all and tell y'all the truth, because I just don't want y'all to go through what I'm going through right now. Oh my goodness, money's so tight. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Just, boys and girls, just be smart with your money, please. Just be smart. Just be smart. Alright, y'all, that's it for today's video. And as usual, if you like this video, go ahead and press the like button. If you dislike this video, hopefully you didn't. But if you did dislike this video, go ahead and press the dislike button, because I always appreciate honesty. Drop a comment below, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, promoting peace, gaming, and wings.